Plaintiff Ronald Lee is suing his neighbor for unpaid loans. Ronald claims the defendant offered him sex in exchange for money, but he refused, and eventually they started dating. Defendant Angel Joachim denies offering Ronald sex. Angel and her boyfriend Stephen Anderson claim Ronald is obsessed with Angel. And Angel's countersuing for harassment because she says Ronald would try to grope and kiss her in the elevator and bang on her walls, begging to make love to her.
Remain standing. The Honorable Judge Jeanine Pirro presiding. Please be seated.
All right. The plaintiff is suing his former lover for unpaid loans. She is countersuing her former neighbor for harassment. Ronald, why don't you state your case?
Yes, Your Honor. February of this year, I moved to Pennsylvania Apartments.
Okay.
The apartment across the hall from me was Angel's. I'd like to tell you that the first 3-4 weeks, the total involvement we had was we'd meet in the hall, and I would tell her, "Hi, how you doing? Have a nice day."
How long had you been living there, Angel?
I've been living there since August.
All right. So go ahead.
One afternoon, she knocked on my door and she said, "I'd like to talk to you."
Okay. What did she say?
Well, we sat down and she said to me, "I need your help. I need your help financially. I need some money for medication."
Your Honor, he's lying. Yeah, this man is obsessed with me.
All right. Did you knock on his door
No.
when he first moved in?
No, we met through the hallways, just saying hi, bye. That's how we met each other.
All right.
And
Hi, bye.
started
But I
talking.
assume something happened after hi, bye.
Well, yeah, well, he would ask, he likes to cook, and he used to bring me food to my house all the time, put it in front of my
Are
door.
you two on the same floor?
Yeah, he lives right across
the hall?
Across the hall from me, yeah.
All right. So go ahead.
So she said, "If you provide me with this money, I will provide you with sex."
Okay, that is not true, Your Honor.
Okay.
That is not true, Your Honor. I never.
All right. So you didn't say did you say you needed medication?
No,
Money for medication?
I never said that. We had small talk and stuff like that. I found out he was on disability, And he found out I was getting a settlement from Social Security. And that's how everything
All
started.
right, Ronald, but you're suing her. So she comes over and she says, "I need money for medicine. If you give me money, I'll what?"
What I said to her then was, I said, "How about your friend? He's in and out of your apartment. That's your boyfriend."
Are you the boyfriend?
Yes, I am.
Why don't you look at me instead of at him? Okay. What is your name, sir?
Stephen Anderson.
Stephen Anderson. How long are you her boyfriend?
We've been together, boyfriend, girlfriend, since December of 2008.
Did you move in?
No, I haven't. I never lived there.
Okay.
I had my own apartment. Always,
right.
we stayed together. She'd come to my place, which I lived in a different town close by.
All right, then, Ronald, okay. She says she needs money for medicine.
For medicine. And then she said, "If you provide me with the money, I will provide you with some sex."
To which you said?
And then I said to her, "I'll tell you, Angel, I don't pay for sex." I opened the door. I told her to leave, never knock on my door again, and leave me alone.
Yeah?
So it went for a time, and she knocked on my door, and she would continuously ask me to use my cell phone.
She wants to use your phone? You don't have a phone?
At that time, I didn't. My phone wasn't on.
All right, so you didn't have a phone. She's using yours.
Cell phone. So one afternoon, she did walk into my apartment. This is after some time, and she was flirting. She took me to the bed. She sat down. She unzipped my pants and gave me oral sex.
That is not true, Your Honor.
Did you give her money?
No, not at that time, Your Honor. She didn't ask for money.
Your Honor, he used to leave notes and he'd buy me flowers. On Mother's Day, he brought me a card, left flowers for me. He'd leave me food at my door all the time, slip notes underneath my door.
Are you a cook?
I have the notes if you want to see them.
Okay, all right. But so you're saying she comes in, she gives you sex,
Yes, ma'am.
and then leaves. Is that because she's grateful that you let her use your phone?
Yeah.
We had sex many, many times.
Ah.
And then she was telling me, "I have all these problems. I need money for my daughter. I need for her rent. I need money. I need money because I owe these people money, and they may hurt me if I don't pay them back."
So you gave her money.
I started giving her $40, $50.
All right, so here's the deal. You had sex, you paid her. That makes you the John, and she's the prostitute. This is prostitution, pure and simple.
Your Honor, she's not a prostitute.
She's not.
In my opinion, she's not a prostitute.
So why are you giving her money?
Because she's being emotional with me. She's buying on my emotions.
Or you're buying her emotions? I'm
No,
not
she's
sure.
buying on my emotions, Your Honor.
Well, you think that she is interested in you?
Definitely.
Oh, no, Your Honor.
I'll tell you the reason, Your Honor. I was in the Navy, and I know the difference between a prostitute and a person that makes love to you.
And a good prostitute is one who makes you feel like she's making love to you.
Oh, Your Honor, a prostitute will take your money, and it's strictly a job. A lover is a person that you make love to them, and they make love to you.
Okay.
It's a give and give situation.
To you then, Ronald, what we've got is a loving situation with affection from your end and trying to help her out.
True. Yes, ma'am.
So you don't want to admit that she was a prostitute. Although initially she approached you and said
I never felt that she was a prostitute.
you felt that she was into you.
Yes. Then one night she came about 11 o'clock in the evening. She knocked on my door. She came in and she was strung out. And I said, "What are you on?" And her response to me was, "I'm on heroin."
Oh, no, Your Honor. I never said that.
What'd you say?
I was never strung out on anything. He never even asked me that.
She's on medication.
She is.
Yes, she is.
Go ahead, Ronald.
So she says I need $40 to get my medication, which is,
Medication or heroin?
well, it's not heroin, Your Honor. Let me explain to you. She's on crack. She smokes crack.
How do you know that?
Because we ended up at a crack house on the south side. I told her, I said, "Look, Angel, I'll help you out this time. But tomorrow, you've got to promise
How are
me."
you helping her out this time? What are you doing?
I gave her the $40. We went to this crack house on the south side.
So you give her money for crack. She's a prostitute. This is not going to be Pretty Woman at the end, Doug. I'm telling you. This is not. I don't get this. What is going on here? Angel, what is going on? Is he lying about all of this,
Yes,
or is he telling the truth?
He is lying. I've got several police reports where I called on him harassing me all the time, from
Let me
leaving
see the
notes.
police reports.
Also, I've caught him I've caught him with his ear to my door. I've got, was walking down the hallway. I see him with his ear to my door. I'm like, "Ron, what are you doing?"
You got your ear to her door?
I noticed something was wrong when she said that Ron had been groping her, hugging her, kissing her on the elevator. She told him to quit. In the hallway, he would grab her and hug her. We went to the manager several times. His name's Aaron. He said, "Call the police."
Did you?
We did, yes.
All right. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
He'd bang on his door, on his walls in his apartment, yell, "Angel, I want to make love to you, Angel. I want to make love to you, Angel." He'd be banging on his walls. The people down the hall yelling, "Shut up."
No.
I got to tell you something going on between these two. Ain't no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I don't know if it's prostitution. I don't know if it's somebody providing crack to a woman who's strung out. I don't know what it is. He's cooking for her. This guy's writing her
He's
notes.
obsessed.
He thinks
crazy.
he's having a relationship with her.
In his mind.
Yeah, he is.
His mind.
Now, and did he ever confront you at all?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Go ahead, Ron, hit it.
I went to his door. I knocked on his door. And he yelled back at me. I yelled at him. I yelled enough at him. He finally opened the door. He told me that they'd been having sex all day, and that she was giving him oral sex all day.
Oh, whatever,
I need to
Ron.
hear this.
That's when the police were called. They came. They talked.
On what
they talked
grounds?
to,
Why do you call the police on those grounds? What do you say?
They called the police, Your Honor.
Sleepy.
I met the police downstairs. It says, "Leave her alone. Don't bother her. If we get called back, we'll have to arrest you and give you a ticket."
This was the third time.
What do you say?
I said, "Okay, officer." I went upstairs in my apartment because I was going to cook me a pork chop outside on the grill.
Hopefully one. Yeah. Go
As
ahead.
I got in the hallway, I heard this voice say, "Ron." I turned around, and Steve Anderson is standing in the hallway, stripped naked, nothing on.
Okay.
Nothing on. He says, "We're getting ready to have sex, and we want to be left alone."
He's in the hallway naked. Why aren't you calling the police on him?
I did, Your Honor. I went down I went down to the
Where's
office.
the police report saying this guy's walking around nude in the hallway?
Let's see it. Where's it at, Ron?
He was escorted off the property by the police.
He was.
He was.
True
And
story.
That's true.
True, because Aaron did not want any confrontations between me and Ron because he's a tenant. So Aaron says, you just need to leave, and don't come back.
But you see, here's the deal. That's a lame excuse because Aaron would be as concerned about this tenant as he would be concerned about this tenant. And the fact that he told this tenant's guest to leave tells me that there is a concern on the part of Aaron that you're the problem.
Yes, he was, Your Honor. Your Honor,
You say she owes you money.
I have these promissory
She
notes.
could allege that she was a prostitute and say I already paid him back, but
2 that she made out and 1 that I made out, but we both signed them with dates.
Your Honor,
I
never
owe
signed
Ron Lee
anything.
$29.50. I will pay him when I receive disability from SS checking. 7709. All right, 7909 is when they call the police on you. If this is true, if she signed something saying that I owe you money, and then a couple days later she's calling the cops on you, my prosecutor's head says, is there a correlation between this and this? Is someone setting up the ability to not pay him back by saying I'm being harassed by him? Angel, owe Ron $900, which he'll get when I get my SSI, 510. Hold on. 5-6.
Your Honor,
It's before.
Now,
Your Honor,
what?
if you look at the 2950 promissory note,
Yes.
the signature is his signature.
All right,
That's his
here's
signature.
the 2950 promissory note.
He wrote all those.
Your Honor, I did not forge her name. She wrote
Yes,
the
you
name.
did.
All right, did we do a handwriting analysis on this?
Give me that one back.
Let's see it. Ron.
I'm telling the truth.
You want me to read it? 510, there's a promissory note, and 77, there's a promissory note. And according to the handwriting experts, the defendant is the author of the promissory note dated 510 and 530. So that means that the defendant signed the promissory note of May 10th and May 30th, wherein she agrees to pay both $2,000 and $900, but it says that the plaintiff is the author of promissory note dated 7709.
That's forgery.
So that's the 29. You know what? This may be forgery, and I appreciate your input, but what she just said was perjury. Now you want me to do one against the other? All right, so then you now want to admit that you signed that you owe him $900 and $2,000?
No, I don't.
No? All right, well, it doesn't matter to me. I got an expert saying you did it. All right, the issue for the court is whether or not the plaintiff is entitled to the money that he says he gave to the defendant, whether or not the defendant has breached a contract for repayment of a debt. It is clear that there is some kind or was some kind of relationship between the plaintiff and the defendant. Let's talk about people's emotions. Ron, you're a decent guy. You want to cook for a woman. You want to take care of her. You want to help her out. But you know what? Any woman that you have to give money to, whether it's before or after to make love to, is a prostitute. End of the story. Now, Angel, stop playing games. You two-time in both of them. All right. You think you're an operator? You're not an operator. You perjured yourself before this court. You got a lot of issues to deal with. You better be careful. Some men may not be as nice as this man was to you when at the end of the day, his heart was broken. And whether he was fantasizing that the relationship was more than you believed it was, for some reason, that was the world he was living in. But if you tease something up, don't expect people to not try to hit it. All right. Verdict for the plaintiff. So
I don't know why he would lie about having sex with me.
I didn't lie about having sex.
He's in a fantasy land. They didn't have sex.